Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Cast Iron Cooking. For today, we'll be making pancakes, bacon, and eggs. It's a bit of a simple recipe, but something most people will enjoy. So let's hop right into it. Alright, first things first, gonna be cooking our bacon. Now, I'm gonna be setting it on a medium heat, because you don't want to overcook your bacon, or rather cook it too fast. Not quite hot yet, so we'll just have to give it a minute. It's just going to be me eating today, so I'm only going to go with 4 strips. That ought to be plenty. Don't be afraid to let your bacon cook on one side for a while. If you let it keep flipping it, it's not going to cook right. Yeah. Just use your best judgment in this kind of thing. So right about now is when I'd flip them. It's been a couple of minutes. So just keep flipping them back and forth now and then until they're done. Now, on how long to cook your bacon, it depends on the person. Some people would cook it more, some people would cook it less. It depends on their personal preference, but for me, that's how I like it, just like that. A little crispy, but, not overdone. So, you're going to want to take these off, put them on a paper plate with some paper towels on them to soak up some of that grease. Now you're going to want to drain off some of that grease, but if you're like me, you'll want to save some of it. Use that for when you cook your eggs instead of getting a new pan and using butter. Alright, well, let's do that. Now, it's time for the eggs. I'm going to do mine scrambled, because that's how I like them. You can find plenty of other videos on how to do it otherwise, but I like scrambled, so that's what I'll do today. I'm going to do about 3 eggs. Now, I like to add my seasoning to them before I cook them. That's just me. You can always add them afterwards. I like just to do a little salt. A little pepper. And a little bit of smoked paprika. Not too much, just a little bit. Now you're going to want to scramble those up. Hold on a second. Alright, now you're ready to start cooking. Alright, now that we've got our pan drained of most of the grease, we're going to turn up our heat to a medium-low. Whoops. And add our eggs. Don't be afraid to give it enough time to cook on the bottom before you start flipping it. About now is when I'd flip my eggs, once you start to see a little white poking through the middle. Don't be discouraged if your egg sticks to the pan a little bit. It happens. It's not preferred, but don't let that stop you from cooking. I'm not the best at cooking eggs myself, but I'd consider myself proficient enough. And honestly, if you're only cooking for yourself, not everything has to be 100% perfect. As long as you enjoy it, hey, it's good enough. Alright, now that your eggs are done, move them aside somewhere, preferably where they'll stay warm. Let's get started on those pancakes. Now it's time for your pancake mix. In a large bowl, you're going to want to mix 1.5 cups of flour, 3.5 teaspoons of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1.25 cup of milk, one egg, and then 3 tablespoons of butter that's been melted down. Then you're going to want to just mix that all together. Now, this isn't a very big batch, but if you want more or less, just multiply or divide the recipe. Simple as that. If your batter is too thick or too thin, add milk or flour respectively. And once this is all mixed together, we'll move over to the griddle. So, first things first, you're going to want your griddle going over a medium to high heat, more so medium. Then you're going to want to add some cooking spray. Not too much, not too little, you know? Wait for it to get hot enough, and then you're going to want to add some of your batter. Now that your griddle's gotten warm, you're going to want to add your batter. I'm not looking for too large of pancakes for myself. You can go bigger or smaller depending on how you like them. You're going to do 2, medium-sized ones. Now, I always like to flip mine when the bubbles kind of remain and don't pop right away, and also when the surface starts to look a little dry, if that makes sense. So they should be just about ready to be flipped. let's see. Cut those in half. Yep. Could have done them a little sooner, but they're not too burnt. The first couple you do aren't always going to turn out the best. That's how it's been in my experience. So yeah, give these another minute or two, then you can take them off. So these should just be done. Oh yeah. Now you can take them off your griddle and put them right onto your plate. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching. And be sure to like and subscribe if you think cast iron is a superior cookware. Have a wonderful day.